Adoption of agenda. It's recommended that the agenda of the October 9th, 2025 regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees be approved as presented.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Approval of minutes. It's recommended that the minutes of the September 11th, 2025 regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees be approved as presented.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Statements and questions from the public. Before we get started, I want to remind you, you get 3 minutes apiece to speak. You cannot use names. We want you to be respectful, and we will not respond to you tonight, but we will get back with you on anything that you have questions about. April, you're up first. You can do whatever, it's up to you. As long as we can hear you, you're good.
Okay, obviously I'm here, I did have a conflict with an employee of the school after senior night. I've been in communication with the principal and the vice principal, the AD. We've had multiple meetings at this point. At senior night, I learned that this said employee was talking about my daughter during the game, and had previous games to the same parent, had witnessed this and had heard it herself. I obviously was upset that I had been to the school twice already that week, had a meeting and a phone call with the principal. Nothing was fixed as far as my daughter. She has been bullied, antagonized, she's been body shamed. This has been happening since June. She's kind of made light of things, trying to lessen the blow to herself, but it's not happening. Obviously, I am very heated about this. No repercussions have been taken against these boys that have said these things about Mallory nor teammates. Punishments have definitely not been the same at all. So I am here saying that she has not had, nobody has given her the chance to get any type of gratification or any type of completion out of her bullying. She continues to not want to be here. She doesn't want to go to school here anymore. This is my third kid at the school. I have not ever been in trouble with the school, but I do stand up for my kids and will stand up for my kids. And when I hear a person, an employee of this school, who is talking about my child and then instigates antagonizing, I've witnessed on multiple occasions this person has antagonized. Yes, there was words. It was not at an event. It was in the parking lot. She asked me to step outside. I did go with her. I should not have went with her. I understand that. I get it. I did, because at this point I'm infuriated that nothing's happened. Nothing's been done with my child. There's been no punishments at all. She doesn't want to be here. So if I'm no longer allowed to be at these events, she doesn't even want to be here. She doesn't want to play. She doesn't want anything to do with Fountain Central and is ready to transfer at this point. I hate that. Like I said, this is my third daughter, but there's been nothing done. And I'm being punished. I get an email from the AD that several girls were in tears at that senior night. My daughter's been in tears twice, okay? Twice. No punishments were ever given for my daughter's tears, but I'm being punished for their tears? That's not right.
Okay, thank you, April. Randy Rogers.
I guess I'll start with some of the, how the athletic is being ran around here on certain things, you know. We're gonna go back to last year during track sections. There's a lot of events around here canceled because the storm was coming in, high volume of tornadoes. Don't understand why we couldn't have called up there and rescheduled this for the next day, or, you know, to make everybody safe, you know. So what I was told, if you want to participate, you got to go. So nobody wants to miss out on sectional. You know, you build that up to try to get that, you know, go to sectional. And so they went up there about halfway through it, or sometime, you know, give or take, it was canceled. whoever else was out, you know, in there, you know, so I just think we got issues there, and then, you know, with this volleyball, it's just been a total mess all year with, my daughter was 2 minutes late Memorial Day weekend, or Labor Day weekend, she gets suspended a set. 2 girls gotta get picked up on a bus to go to Bi-County. They get to play Bi-County. They come back, their punishment was one, a down and back, 2 of them. One of them didn't make it because there was an accident or something, so she didn't get punished. So, you know, that's kinda like, you know, that's kind of a slap in the face to my daughter, and then it's just like, you know, and this been nothing but bully, you know, picking on younger girls and stuff like that, and it's just like, the girl that's causing all this, I feel like needs to be punished, or it's just gonna, it just keeps going. Now we got parents fighting, you know, we got parents arguing now because nobody's getting control of this situation. She's a good athlete, maybe we don't want her punished because we don't wanna miss out, but I feel like somebody's gotta be punished, you know, for that. You know, then I'm gonna be all over the place here, cause I got all kinds of stuff, you know, it's just kinda like, I mean, like last year, hey, I'm not a saint, I said something at a wrestling event, got kicked out. Things were said that I said this, thank God the coach's parents were behind me and backed me up, said I didn't say that. I called to apologize the next day to the athletic director, and all of a sudden, he belittled me, you know, and then I got mad and let the F-bomb fly and hung up on him, you know, and it's just like, I called you to say I'm sorry, you know, and it didn't go like that, but he just belittled me, you know, and it went on, and then, you know, there was rumors of money missing in wrestling that was donated from an employee here, where he donated his time to do certain things here, he donated some money, and then all of a sudden, some headgear wanted to get bought, the money wasn't there, then it reappears.
That's your 3, Randy.
Okay.
If you have more and you have it written down, you can
I do,
give
but
us a
it's like
copy of
chicken
it.
scratch, but I'll give it to you.
Okay. RJ Massey.
Good evening, board members. Thank you for this time this evening. I'm not here to repeat the events my wife and Randy explained to you, but rather to convey to you my sincere concern of the direction of our school's administration's ability to handle bullying problems with a fair and impartial view. This is our family's second issue with this administration's lack of concern with our daughter's safety and being bullied. It is also the second time that nothing has been done to correct the instigator's actions. Not to mention our previous daughter's very similar issues that were never addressed. I am extremely concerned over the employees of this school being able to repeat actions of this kind with no real consequences. Example, the bus driver, whom my wife had a conflict with, confronted another parent during practice, in which the AD was informed of and reviewed recordings of, to which no actions were taken. At some point, I would like to think it's blatantly obvious that our current AD is not qualified to fulfill his obligations with a fair and impartial view to the situations. I am further concerned with the education, not only academically, but also morally, that this administration is conveying to our students. I had some questions I was going to ask you guys, but you said you will not respond to questions at this time?
Correct.
Okay. I hope that you had, I hope what you have heard this evening will give the board due course to examine the actions of this administration's handling of such simple issues that have resulted in much bigger problems, and their lack of ability to put their finger on the true pulse of this school. Thank you.
Thank you, RJ.
I'm ready.
John Butts.
Yeah, mine's pretty short and simple. I'm just the same thing. Volleyball is my main concern, and girls' sports in general. Sports in general out here. I know we're out here to get, academics is important. I'm very passionate about sports myself. I used to like to play, and now I'm getting older, I don't like to play. Me and you've been tangled up a few times, man, on the basketball court in years past. I'm passionate about it, and I'm passionate about winning. That's another thing. And me and Coach Good, me and the athletic director went round, but we're friends, same with friend. And, same thing, it's just, we've gotta nip something in the butt with girls' sports out here. I feel like, we just kinda, I understand there wasn't a whole lot of applicants for volleyball, but it's just like, we just throw a dart at it and just say, hell, let's give her a shot. We don't do that in boys' sports. We don't, you know, and I can go on like a lot of things too. The bowling thing, I get it. I hope that the girl that I help raise a little bit off and on is not part of it, because she's had her share of it too coming her way, and so she knows better. And if that's the case, I'll nip that in the butt myself. We gotta just figure something out. Just for example, the other day we're playing North Maine, who was horrible, and that's horrible. So our JV's playing, and I already feel like there's several girls that shouldn't be out there. I'll just be blatant. There's several girls that shouldn't even touch the floor. But I'm more about winning. I'm not a hey everybody participation parent. That's not me. If you want to get better and you want to see playing time, I believe you put in the sweat equity in the summertime. You practice. That's how you get better. We can't take losses because we're trying to please everybody. You know. And then the way our stuff's set up now, if you email our AD, miraculously your daughter gets more playing time, or your son. I can only speak for girls' sports. It's just not right. I mean, I literally sit and watch we lost the Banks of the Wabash game because of that. Because we're wanting to give equal playing time. And it's crazy. It's crazy to me that we're willing to take it on the chin just because we're willing to give people more playing time. And I don't know. But anyway, the North Maine thing, our JV literally plays their varsity, minus 2 girls. Because North Maine didn't have enough girls. Our JV wins. Our JV beats their varsity. April can attest to that.
Absolutely.
So tells me there may be some JV girls that should be playing varsity, but we don't want to get in that match. I've expressed that opinion. Voila, varsity game. Our varsity girls come in, we get beat by the same team. We got a problem. I could go on for hours. It's.
All right, thanks, John. We do appreciate you guys coming in and speaking.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to administrative recommendations. Claims. It is recommended that the prepaid September claims numbered 103-752 through 103-914 be approved as presented.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Personnel, it's recommended that Landon Noonan be approved for hire at Fountain Central Junior Senior High School.
Motion.
Second.
We'll let Phil talk. Yeah.
We have a vacancy in our business department that will be open in January. Landon Noonan is a WRC guy, is a Park Heritage graduate. He's very interested. He's currently working in Terre Haute, has a desire to get into a small school community. He's licensed, or will he soon be licensed in business, and we're excited to have him aboard at Fountain Central starting in January.
Do I have a motion?
I motion, Tyler seconded.
Okay. All in favor? Quotes. It is recommended that the quote from Alley Electrical in the amount of $10,162.78 be approved.
This quote is to install a scoreboard for the baseball field.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Other business, it's recommended that the 2026 budget be approved as presented.
The budget was presented last month and has been posted on the state site for anyone to look at for the past month as well. And this is to take us forward for 2026. I'm happy to say that our enrollment on count day in October was higher than expected. So I feel confident that we're in good place for our budget.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the 2026 capital projects plan be approved as presented.
And the capital projects that we're looking at include emergency service radio upgrades, the elementary school overhangs, and masonry repair. Looking at the football stadium press box, which, as you know, it's deteriorating quickly now. And some corporation office upgrades. We just installed a new railing, but we're looking at things like that. There is a rumor out there, we are building a new corporation office. I want to put that rumor to rest because I've heard it so many times wherever I go. We are not building a new corporation office, and that is not part of our plan.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the 2026 bus replacement plan be approved as presented.
We are still hopeful. We have 2 buses per year is what we have been able to purchase and sustain. However, with the state cuts that are coming to our operations budget, I also want you to be aware that we are very mindful of that, and if necessary, we will only replace 1 bus, and that will be at the recommendation of our mechanic about which bus should be replaced, or which 2 buses.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the 2025 through 2027 collective bargaining agreement be approved as presented.
Okay, I'm gonna talk very briefly about some of the changes to the new collective bargaining agreement with the Southeast Fountain Education Association, our teachers union. This year, we have a 2-year agreement with them, which is the first time since I've been here that we were able to do a 2-year agreement. So it's retroactive to July 1st, 2025, and will run through June 30th of 2027. This will be especially helpful next summer as we work on the 2027 budget, because the way that the law works when you have to do the budget and when you do negotiations, we kind of have to guess what those costs will be, so this will be helpful. I also want you to know Indiana's new requirement for a base salary of $45,000 is not going to be met this year, but it will be by year 2 of the 2-year contract, and that's allowable by the state too when you have a 2-year contract. So that's another benefit to the agreement. A change, all teachers will receive a $1,500 bump this year and an additional $2,000 next year. However, some teachers will reach the top of the scale this year under this plan, so they will not get that bump next year if they hit the top. Year 2, as I said, will get us to the base of $45,000, but the top will stop where it does in year 1. So that's why they will not get that additional amount. Teachers with an early literacy endorsement will receive an additional $250 to their base, and this aligns with new state regulation. A few changes were made to the ECAs to make sure, for example, that girls wrestling and boys wrestling coaches each have a head coach and an assistant coach, and compensation is the same for both teams. Similar change was made to other areas that had a discrepancy between what it said for boys and girls. We did pay it correctly, but it had to be corrected in the contract. After an agreement was reached by the 2 bargaining teams, the teachers union did take it to teachers to have them to vote on it, and that happened last week. After that, public hearing was held again on Monday so that anyone could come and ask questions about it. And then also all teachers were emailed a list from me showing their degree, years of service, and licensure areas. They have until October 15th to dispute any of the information if we have something incorrect. Brianna, our HR person, and I will then review that and make changes if warranted before all teachers are placed on the new onboarding schedule. According to the contract, we have 60 days from now, if you approve this, in order to update everything and begin new compensation, but it will likely happen in November, not December.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It is recommended that the SEFE Student Council fundraiser request be approved.
Student Council is requesting to sell Mustang merchandise such as bracelets, hats, socks, koozies, etc. Their goal is to raise $3,000 for field trips, incentives, t-shirts, and they want to run it from October through May.
Motion.
Second. You can have it.
Tyler? Okay. All in favor? It's recommended that the National Honor Society fundraiser request be approved.
The National Honor Society is requesting to have a laundry soap fundraiser. This will be an annual fundraiser if you approve this. They'll repeat each year. It will be through the last half of October up through November 1st, and their goal is to raise $2,000 to cover senior stoles and the NHS service activities.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? It's recommended that the after-prom committee fundraiser request be approved.
And there are actually two of those requests. One is for a hog roast at the football game this week. They'll sell barbecue sandwiches to raise money for the after-prom event. And the other fundraiser was the 50-50 raffle, sell raffle tickets throughout all home football, boys basketball, and home girls basketball games. So this fundraiser would run through March 14th, and it will also be an annual fundraiser with your approval.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? We do not have a spotlight tonight, so Southeast Fountain Elementary School update.
Yesterday, we held parent-teacher conferences, and we appreciate everyone accommodating that with an e-learning day. We know that can be hard on parents, but it was so nice to be able to have one day to complete all of those, and we hope it was easier for families too to know that it was happening in that day. We're still waiting for a few classrooms to roll in, but right now we're sitting at about a 96% attendance rate, which we think is great to have that support from our families, and we feel like that communication is just crucial for our student support. So again, we appreciate that. Along the lines of student achievement as well, we talked before, our 5th grade team this year is really working to help our students take some ownership in their learning, especially as they get ready to go to junior high. So Mr. Baines and I are excited. They've invited us next week. We'll be training students on how to have their own Harmony account so they can log in, they can be able to track their grades, missing assignments, attendance. And again, it's our hope that can help support them as they go to junior high. Again, hold them, have them be accountable and have that ownership in that piece. And then lastly, to celebrate our students, tomorrow is our first Student Appreciation Day of the quarter. We hold these for all our students, preschool through 5th grade, just to say thanks for being great kids and for being here and showing up every day and doing your best. So it's going to be a new event for us. We're going to have some outdoor play as well as ice cream sundaes. So we've already scooped about 260 and they're in the freezer and ready to go. So we'll finish the rest tomorrow, but we're pretty excited. And we just wish everybody a safe and happy fall break next week.
Does attendance usually run at that high, 96%? Is that typical?
I mean, we're usually above 90%, but again, I think it was just nice that it was all held at once, so
Gotcha.
we're not tracking down, various missing pieces and loose ends.
Yeah. Good news.
Okay, Fountain Central Junior, Senior High School update.
We talked about this last year. Mr. Wolf has led the effort with our Golden Horseshoe Awards. It's an opportunity for us to recognize staff members. Mr. Wolf works really hard. This year, he decided that he was going to, last year we allowed students and staff to nominate teachers to receive this award. This year, we kind of changed the format, and it was 100% student-driven. Our first award winners for this year were our choir director, Mrs. Stephanie Perkins, and our agriculture instructor, our FFA advisor, Miss Claire Davis. If you hadn't had an opportunity yet, those videos that Mr. Wolf produced honoring those two individuals are on our Facebook page. He sat down, roundtable discussion with students who nominated those teachers, had great discussion, a lot of things were highlighted. I know he puts a lot of time into not only coordinating the voting process, but getting students, creating the videos. So we want to congratulate Mrs. Perkins and Ms. Davis, and also thank Mr. Wolf for leading that effort. And I've got two things to highlight that both of those ladies were a part of. I mentioned this last spring. Jessie Frazee, Fountain Central senior, was named the FFA District 4 President, which is a very prestigious honor. Along with that honor comes a lot of responsibility. One of those is we were tabbed to host the FFA District 4 kickoff event. Jessie and Ms. Davis worked together to organize that, which took place on September 24th. FFA chapters from all over our district came to Fountain Central. There were over 160 attendees at that event, so kudos to the two of them for holding a great event. And there's a lot of other things that we're going to be able to host right here on our campus because Jessie has earned that honor, so we're excited about that. Last Wednesday was the WRC Choir Festival. If you read my weekly bulletin, I talked at great length about that. I know Dr. Grimes was in attendance as well as myself. Our choir was the most, in my opinion, and it's humble, was the most impressive choir at that event. Numbers, we filled the stage, and we had the biggest round of applause during the individual component. Honestly, it was the highlight of the school year for me to see those kids in their element. I got to visit with them backstage before they went out. They were so excited, they performed so well, and they represented Fountain Central in the highest way possible. So congratulations to all those students and to Ms. Perkins for representing us so well at that conference-wide event. Finally, last night, parent-teacher conference.
I think so.
It feels like it was 3 days ago, but it was last night. Fountain Central has not had parent-teacher conferences in a number of years, not an organized event. Obviously, we're in communication with parents regularly. Mrs. Morgan came to us this summer and proposed the Learning Day and having a modified work schedule for the corporation, and getting that organized for Fountain Central was a challenge because students in her building all have one teacher and students in our building all have 7. But we were able to pull it off. Our attendance rate was nowhere near 96%. I don't have numbers. I know it wasn't there. But it was great to be in our building last night. It was weird because it was a very quiet building, but we had parents along with their students that attended various conferences. Especially our 6th graders, it was very well attended by them. Although it was a daunting task to try to get that pulled together, it was very worthwhile. It was good work, and a great opportunity for outreach to our families, to bring them into our building, give them an opportunity to speak with their teachers. And finally, along with that, I wanted to thank Sterling Christian Church because they support us. All of our local churches support us in various ways. Pastor Jason Davis reached out to me last week and said, hey, you guys are having parent-teacher conferences. We want to feed you. So they brought in a meal for our teachers and our staff in the building last night, which was which was needed. And it was just outstanding to have them be a part of it. So thank you, Sterling Christian.
They did it at the elementary school too, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, that was very good.
Pulled pork.
Pulled pork nachos.
Come on.
Oh, so good.
Good job, Jason.
All right, thank you, guys. Now it's time for our SEFSC student report. Cash, are you going first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations to Millen Action, Mackenzie Lewis on being named the 2025 Fall Homecoming King and Queen on September 26th. Congratulations to our JV volleyball team for being crowned Bi-County champions on Saturday, September 27th. Fountain Central Cross Country completed in the WRC meet on Tuesday night. Our boys and girls teams each entered 4 runners in the event, and all 8 Fountain Central runners achieved personal best times. Congratulations to Alan Melkor, Lucas Kirkpatrick, Andrew Froge, Gage Harrison, Haley Clare, Lily Newland, Caitlin Holt, Sophie Smith, Coach Jill Fruits, and Coach Shannon Hoagland.
Congratulations to Aiden Batchelor on advancing to the individual singles tournament for the boys regionals tennis tournament. Aiden won his first round match on Tuesday but was eliminated last night. He had an outstanding tennis season while also competing for our football team on Friday nights. The Mustang Junior football team had the unique opportunity to compete at the Lucas Oil Stadium last weekend, coming away with a 32-16 victory. Thanks go out to the coaching staff and Mr. Good for helping make this incredible experience possible for our students and families. Lastly, Bryson Davis asked me to ask you guys, why did the employee at the calendar company get fired? He took a day off.
Has the same feeling.
It does. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lydia. Discussion items.
Lydia's gonna pull up, I'm giving you a first reading for a proposed change to our teacher appreciation grant. The first part of our current policy, I'm sorry, grant policy, not just grant. The first part of our policy, nothing has changed. It talks about how a teacher is defined under Indiana code and how schools are defined. But, if you'll go to the next screen, please, Lydia. All of this that you see in red is no longer in the law. That all has changed. So that all needs to come out of our policy because this past summer, the law changed about it. We had adopted that policy in September of 17 and revised it in 2022, but now we need to delete that part altogether, if Lydia will go to the next. And this is in line with the new policy, and I'm just going to read it. Per Indiana statute, to be eligible for a grant, Southeast Mountain School Corporation will identify no more than 20% of certified teachers as eligible grant recipients based on criteria provided by the Indiana Department of Education. We will determine the appropriate stipend for each identified educator, and those there are 3 different tiers: the recognition stipend, the exemplary stipend, and the exemplary plus stipend, which each has a series of, just so you know, qualifications that a teacher has to have. We will report how each certified teacher met the specified designation criteria set by IDOE within that tier. And then we will distribute all grants to teachers within 60 business days of receiving the funds from IDOE, and return to IDOE any portion of the grant not distributed as stipends to teachers by the date set by DOE each year. The legal reference is the new Indiana code that is now in effect, IC 20-43-16. I will tell you, thank you. I did meet with all of our certified staff. They had an opportunity to meet with me. I led PLC both at the elementary building and at the junior senior high school, so I could explain all of the changes to teachers. Indiana Department of Education has notified me that at most 16 of our teachers can be considered for that. That does not mean that 16 will get it, but that's the 20% right now. The DOE has also said the maximum amount they can get, but that will be dependent on how many districts within the state actually implement this, because you could opt in or opt out. I debated back and forth because certainly I feel that we have a lot more than 16 teachers that are deserving of recognition, but I opted in for this because, number one, I don't want to take the opportunity to get that away from our teachers, and I also don't want to tell the state that we don't need the money, give it to someone else. So that's why we opted in. But teachers who are interested in applying will have a form. They'll have to upload the stuff to show how they meet the tiers, and then that will be sent on to the state for the state to determine. And again, just because the state said we could have up to 16, they may come back and tell me only 2 or no one. That's out of my control. And but we do need to change our policy So this is the first reading tonight, so that you have a chance to see it. And then at next month's meeting, I will ask you to vote for the change. But as I stated already, the reason for the change is because the law has changed.
Okay. Is that all of that?
That's all.
Statements from the superintendent.
First of all, you passed the teacher's contract tonight, the collective bargaining agreement. I want to give a big thank you to those who served on the administration's collective bargaining team, and that was our school board president, Scott Minnick, and then administrators Josh Davenport, Kelly Morgan, and Phil Shavy. So thank you for all of your work to come to an agreement with our teachers union. Next, I want to acknowledge 4 Mustang heroes. And I thank these students, and I want to give them a public acknowledgement. First of all, I want to thank Levi Alexander and Eli Foxworthy. A few weeks ago, there was an auto accident right out in front of where our building trades is building a home. Those 2 young men immediately took quick action and very level-headed, went out, helped make sure that both drivers were safely out of their vehicles and away from the highway while emergency personnel was called. So thank you for those 2 young men who just immediately stepped in and did the right thing. Very much appreciated. And then the other 2 Mustang heroes that I have thanked personally, but I now want to thank publicly, Eli Klauser and Zach Caldwell. We have a number of students, especially some special needs students, who try to escape, for lack of better terms, and we had a student who tried to escape and tried to run from the playground, and just as he did, our facilities maintenance class had to be out working, and those 2 students got to him even before staff did, saw what happened, immediately went and caught the student and safely got him to the school office as right away. So, you know, the child fortunately was never in any danger, any harm, and staff were watching them, but those 2 young men happened to be right there and did the right thing immediately. And I'm just so proud of those 4 Mustang heroes that we love when our students just see something and do the right thing immediately, and it just makes us very proud of them. So thank you to them. Next, I would like to acknowledge an IHSAA official, and I want to do that by sharing an email that I got from Mr. Good. He said, I may have already shared this with some of you, but I wanted to recognize that one of our officials, Tom Susdorf, from the Friday game before this, left his check on purpose and texted to say that he wanted the check donated to After Prom. That was a very nice gesture on Tom's part. But also, thank you to Mary Frazee and Chris Webb, who helped host the officials that Friday night. Because our people treat officials well, they do nice things like this. So thank you to the official as well as to those staff members who had hosted that night. And finally, administrators and teachers, thank you to all of you for doing a great job with parent-teacher conference. As you mentioned, it was different this year than how we have done it in the past, and it sounds like it was very successful in both buildings. It required our teachers to work a different schedule yesterday, and they just did it and met with parents and did the right thing, and our administrators too. So thank you to all of you, and you just have a few more days till you have a well-deserved fall break. So enjoy. And I guess the bell means I'm done speaking.
Yeah, that was not intentional, but.
But I'm done anyways, that's all you.
Okay, statements or concerns from the board?
Well, I appreciate all you guys coming in, okay? like Scott said, we can't make a response tonight. We have to have a meeting. We have to talk about it. We have to, you know, it's like anything else. He said, she said, factual evidence. So bear with us. Somebody, you have my word, somebody will be in contact with each and every one of you that have addressed us tonight. And I just feel like that, I feel like it was in a respectful manner, and I feel that it's a problem, and something's going on, and I think we're on the right track to figure out exactly what and who the common denominators are, whether it's a policy or whatever that gets made or whatever. So that's where I'm gonna leave it, but I wanted you guys to know that I appreciate you guys coming in, and I will serve you just as well as you voted for me. So, thank you.
Anybody else? All right, document signing is done, so do I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Second.
I have 7:41. All in favor?